Good morning, gardening friends. Welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. My name is Lark, and I am in Wisconsin Zone 5. Come join me and walk through my gardens. That is a rotating sculpture that I made from a bicycle rim and the antique ruby glass plates, and then some found objects. Bread basket is in the center, and some kind of glass sphere I glued in. Okay, let's go on to the flowers. Lots of milkweed. The monarchs are liking me. The cranesbill geranium is still blooming. It blooms for a long time. Consequently, let's say a month ago, it is setting seed now. So I'm going to be cutting it back to the ground, and it should rebloom. So is the spiderwort. Same thing. That's how it spreads so much. It blooms a long time. The first blooms turn into seeds, and then it keeps blooming. Some people go, oh, I don't want to cut it down because it's still blooming. Well, that's okay if you want a lot of cranesbill and spiderwort. Carl Forrester is starting to get its seed head. My lilies in part shade. Whoa, I think the deer were through here. I see a nip. See how I'm holding them up? Dead twigs, or they'd be laying on the ground. Some of my hostas. These are blue regal, I think. Nice and upright. Oh, I wanted to show you baneberry. I threw some seed in here a couple years ago, and it's a native white. Another name for it is doll's eyes. And this is the red. It comes in white too. So it's getting its red berries on. I'll show you another example where the berries are a little more red already. My trumpet vine that I train into a tree. Definitely do not put that close to any structure like a house or a garage or anything, because it'll push the foundation. Feverfew. Oh yeah, the deer are back here. Okay, this is what I do with twigging. Okay, you see how I have a dead branch, and I will prop it up. Let's say I'm propping this one up. I think I'll show you it on a tip-in technique when Dave's taking the video. It works really good, especially around paths. Okay, let's see what's blooming down here. The hostas are starting to bloom, and I will be getting down here to take the blooms off. There's a baneberry right here. See those real fire engine red berries? Doesn't that look pretty with the chartreuse leaves? Masterwort. Fennel. Astilbe. You know, I told you I had triplet deers and a set of twins, and they are showing signs of eating, but we've been getting a lot of rain, so I got to spray again. That's almost all of my Solomon seal is down to nubs. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Look at that group of baneberry. pretty? I like it. Our daylilies are starting to bloom, the more of the hybrids. Stella Diora has been blooming for a while. Well, that's not a daylily. That's just an orange lily. I'm sorry. You're pretty. But Stella's been blooming for a while. Nadia. Usually I have to twig it, but because I have not been pulling out excess plants and weeds, it's being held up by other plants. Mullein. Each week something new shows up. This week it's a purple coneflower. Just starting to pop. Likeness. Type of lamb's ear. That it's in the lamb's ear family. The leaf certainly isn't like a lamb's ear. I think it's spelled E-S-O-R-T. I'm not sure. But if you Google it, it'll get you close. I'm telling you, I am really liking the perilla, the burgundy. We had hard rains and lots of wind. This is what happens to spiderwort when it isn't in the center of the garden and it's on the edge. So I'll just cut half of that clump back because it's huge, and then it'll come back again. Let the other half bloom. Lamb's quarters up close so I can harvest it in the morning. More of the variegated sedum. That one split back there too, and I have to get in there and cut it back soon because I have a balloon flower right where it fell on. So we want the balloon flower to get up and blooming. See the burgundy foliage fade as the summer goes on of the pygmy barberry. But the Diablo 9-bark seems to keep its burgundy foliage even with some shade on it. And that Diablo was cut down to the ground, flat to the ground, 2 years ago. So it comes back. Shall we go up for a little bit and check out the succulents as per request? This is a pencil cactus. Fire sticks. Now it's in mostly shade, but as it gets more into the fall and stressed, it will get, oh, let's see here. You see that red color on there? It'll get more red. If it got more sun now, it would get more red, but it isn't. And then I'm using those as ground covers. Now, this here I'm going to be cutting back. And what I do, let me see if I can pinch this. Yeah, okay, I pinched it off. All of these will grow babies, okay? All of those within time. This, I will pop off the bottom. I will let this dry, the stem on the bottom here, that I'll be sticking in the earth. I'm going to let it callus for, oh, maybe several days. and then stick it in the ground and it'll root. That's how I got her to be rooted as hair. I'm going to give her a haircut too. Her bangs need to be cut. Her dreadlocks don't need to be, but maybe soon. But anyways, and then this is her hat. Echeveria. I can't remember that name. I know it starts with an E. It's a cardinal. That is singing. My jade. Lots of babies that I share. More donkey tail sedum. My aloes. They're getting... How can a aloe get too much sun? I mean, even if I transition it and I left it in the shade for a month, it still doesn't like full sun here. It burns on me. So it goes in part shade. So is that all? Oh no, the pancake flapjack succulent. Now I gave this a haircut because it was tall and in the house during summer. So this is coming back, and then I put all the cuttings in my little bicycle and in a little, what is it? I had it in a little wagon. Maybe we'll go see that. So that's it for my succulents. Wow. One day lily, open, pretty, triple, and a phlox. That's my first phlox blooming. Valerian going to seed. Tick seed, coreopsis. Fleabane. Queen of the Prairie. Just getting its blooms. Let's see if I can get in on that. The pink blooms. Can you see it starting? Queen of the Prairie. Pretty lily that nobody decided to eat yet. And lots of milkweed. And the trumpet vine blooming on that arch. On the right hand side of that arch it was the spring climbing hydrangea. Remember the bird cage I put over here? Well, the little plants I transplanted have taken. And now that I moved away all the leaves, now some of the light is getting to this ground, and I can see all the feverfew I spread seed of is coming up. So we'll keep the bird cage over this for a while till that seed gets bigger. I can't tell you how much rose campion I spread, but too much chop and drop over it, so it's not finding light yet. We'll see. And the reason it comes up along the path here is I clear the leaves off this path. And I don't chop and drop on the path. So I have to decide what I'm going to do to get reseeds. More milkweed. You see all that back there? Now if you don't want it to take over, the best thing to do is to pull it when you see it coming up earlier in spring, so you don't remove any monarch eggs. Right now the monarchs might have laid eggs, so I am not going to remove any unless I look at the plant and make sure the leaves don't have any eggs on them. My granddaughter made me the sign, a garden of Eden. See the chomp marks out of the E and the N and the T. She says, oh Grammy, they eat your garden, so they chomped at the words I was painting. That is a morning glory and a scarlet runner bean, I hope. I hope it's just not a morning glory. The leaves are very similar. Well, you know, I'm glad I did not limb my single stem my tomatoes, because I'm getting blight and I'm taking the leaves off as I go around and see blight leaves. Now, I am also leaving suckers because I want new leaves coming because of the blight. So they're kind of becoming single stem-ish just because of blight. But I want them to hold on. So my theory is that they will have enough leaves on it to keep giving me tomatoes, healthy leaves, if the suckers are growing. Certainly better than just keep taking the leaves off and I won't get many tomatoes. Peppers are, all the hot weather we have, I think that's really helping the peppers and the tomatoes grow faster. Carrots popping back after I thinned them. It's always hard to thin them, isn't it? You're afraid you're not going to have enough. My oregano and large leaf basil and Reuben basil. Peppermint with lots of damage from, oh, there he is. Got him. Wow. Cucumber beetle. Yuck. I looked for him this morning and there were none there, but I'm going to have to look again now that it's gotten hot. Holy basil. I've started to pick it for tea in the morning because you see it setting flower. I will just nip off that top maybe 3 inches and let the rest branch out for a while and then do a big harvest. Holy basil or Tulsi. That's the bunny that did damage on my branched Gloriosa daisy. But it'll come back. It just won't look pretty for a while. Nasturtiums, big onions, Alyssa Craig, nasturtiums, green onions. Oh, my peas. They did not like this couple of weeks of hot. I gotta pick. And then there's green beans that do like the heat on the other end. So that's okay. Borage. I don't let much of that grow, but I do let some. 2 of my cucumbers are gone now that I had down there. I did plant another seed. I think the chipmunk got in there. I have a little opening that isn't chicken wired and he got in there. And I started some plants in a pot up on the deck. Amaranth Hopi. I harvest the leaves and I eat them in a sauteing with my greens or with Look at, I missed another garlic scape. Do you believe it? There I go. Garlic scape. Had those a couple weeks ago. Should be harvesting the garlic in a couple weeks. More peas going up this trellis. My raspberries. The old canes are setting a few berries on now. And all the other ones will set berries in about a month. Hopefully next year I have more early ones also. Lots of calendula and dill, more morning glory and scarlet runner. Here's the other part of that succulent. Flapjack in my bike. That was my bike when I was a little girl. Got that in 1948. And then I've transplanted some purslane into this wagon because it's so shallow. Purslane, I don't think I'll mind having it shallow. Let's open this one here. I put some more hens and chicks. That's just a little wheelbarrow. Shall we see if we have time to go down below? Tomatoes that are in the garden are doing great. Not much blight on those. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, not so hot today, not yet. It's about 79 right now. And it's probably about 10:30 a.m. I'm getting blueberries. Yay, handful here and there. Let's look at my blueberries. Can you see them? Got a few in there. I'll be eating some. I eat them while there's not many, so I eat them while I'm picking them. I did take a handful into Dave. Okay. When beets get out of the ground, like, can you see that? Will they form a beet yet? I thought I planted them deep enough. I sure hope I get some. Got some kohlrabi in here. And the same with the kohlrabi. They seem to be, and I have that trouble with my beets too. You see how they're long instead of nice bulb that some of you grow with such gorgeous ones. I put some beans in there. Queen of the Prairie down here. Yarrow. Gloriosa daisies, where I used to have veggies. And then I put some saplings in here because I put some beans, pole beans in here. Let them grow up. These trees small saplings. Peas not doing good. Either the heat or the constant moisture that they're planted in. I do have some more cukes down here. These are the Japanese. Up above where I showed you, that's a market more, which we like the best, and I only have one plant right now. Pumpkins, and I'm sheep mulching. Have to get more sheep mulch over here. I'll get some cardboard and lay it in this area. Sure hope I get some pumpkins for my girls. The tomato, volunteer tomatoes coming up in there, and I thought, well, with the rate of the blight already, just leave that tomato come up. Comfrey, I'll chop and drop that. I think I'll put it in the veggie garden though. Pot sunk in this bog area here. This is an Amish paste and a brandy wine. They're doing okay. Some more beans. And that's it, my friends, for down here. Morning glories on here. I have to close this gate up. Whoop. You don't want to look at chicken wire. How about looking at that? It's so nice in the shade. I have a question for you guys. How would you like to have Tea Time Tuesday every other week instead of every week? Do you think that would be better? So you have more or different things to, more variety each time I take a Tea Time Tuesday. Should I do that? I don't like to bore you. Even though if you stopped over, I'd walk with you every day if you wanted. But walking in person, you get more of the fragrances too, and the feel of the earth under our feet. So thank you for visiting this week again. I like walking you around my bumpy walk. I think I might go in the creek and pull out some seaweed and then put it on the garden, the veggie garden, as mulch. And it's hot, so I think I might do that. It's really a great fertilizer. Can you see it? Oh, there's a fishy. You see it down there?